Yes, sir. We back with another episode on How You Voices. I got a very, very special guest in here tonight. Q Banks. What's good, my brother?
What's good?
How you doing? How you doing? Got my boy co-host in here, 1600 Mensa. You already know. Tonight we're gonna talk about forex trading, you know, Jamaican heritage, and a few other topics. How you doing, my brother?
Pretty good, man. You know.
So how did you come up with FIP, Forever and Profit?
All right. So overall, Forever and Profit is like more like an entrepreneur brand. You know what I'm saying? Like it's pretty much a brand that we teach people how to actually become Forever and Profit. You know.
Right.
As far as like the name itself, kind of like it speaks on what we're actually about. We're about making money, and to kind of like put people in like a position to actually make them be Forever and Profit. You know. So it was more just me and a few people at the time and that kind of stuff, like about 9 years ago.
Right.
Just in like one group itself, and then we kind of came together based on just having like a common interest, living in like a similar area, and then from that point we kind of like just came up with a group to kind of like teach some people every now and again like in chats, and then eventually it was just that was the brand.
That was the brand. Yeah, so you speaking on 9 years ago. I wanted to go and tap into 9 years ago because, you know, for people who might know, we related. So I wanted to talk about that era when you was working and, you know, you had the 9 to 5 and you knew that this was it ahead of time. And a lot of people might have not have known, and you probably was in the phase where you probably was trying to convince people or talk about it. Let the people know about your background around that time frame.
No, so like, I mean, at that time, like, I think it was just more like a thing that, like, I mean, I kind of had, like, no choice but to figure out something, because at the time, like, I had no kind of papers, I had no other options, I couldn't really get a job and that kind of stuff, so I had to find, like, a different way on how to actually make money.
Right.
So that's when I started doing, like, some online stuff first, but once I actually got, like, some kind of documents, I immediately got a job, and I was in school, you know what I'm saying? It's like, immediately. By the time, I think it was more just me stepping into like that field of being documented in some kind of way, taking advantage of the opportunity. And I had a job for like around 3 years, the same job, getting a salary every 2 weeks around, for like $620 every 2 weeks back then, you know. But it kind of came to a point that, like, you know, it was cool because it was like my first couple checks ever, so it was cool. But eventually it comes to a point that you kind of realize that like the money that you're actually making, the time doesn't really like add up.
Right.
Exactly.
Meaning that, like, if I want to live so and so, or I have dreams of so and so, like that job is not going to buy me the land.
Right.
It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, or the house, or, you know, just like living decent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're pretty much just gonna be moving by, but at the same time, like, not thriving in any kind of way. You know?
Stuck in that cycle.
Yeah, it's like a little cycle, but at the same time, like, I didn't really mind being in the cycle back then, because at the same time it was my first time in the cycle.
Right.
I was new to it, you know, but when you start seeing more, you start to be a bit more wise on how you go about things. So like I started seeing people that was pretty much doing more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like my similar age, making tons of money. Yeah, not like, but like all online, but it was
Right.
online stuff. You know, like all my shit is online. But back then it was more just coming across people that were traveling, driving this, driving that, this house, that house. Like they were just around shit, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking on driving this and driving that, you remember the blue hatchback Volkswagen?
Yeah, remember that, man? That was the first car that I've ever bought.
That was the first one?
First car, yeah.
First car, okay.
First car, you know what I'm saying? We've grown from that point, at the same time, like, that's like my baby at first, you know?
Right.
And yeah, man, so I think like back then it was more just trying to get to a point that, like, if you know more, then you'll do better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that was pretty much it, like trying to find people that were doing things or living like I want to live, and then from that point kind of like going that route or similar route that they did. But I built upon like my niche, which is trading eventually. Like, they went elsewhere, but at the same time, like this was like my way on how to actually get to where I want to be, just doing a different kind of way compared to like a lot of people at the time.
Right. Yeah. So for the people who don't know, let the people know what's your nationality.
Jamaica. Yeah. I'm born in Jamaica. I've been here since like 1999, actually, some shit. So.
How does it feel like being like knowing that you're an immigrant and then now you're in America and like accomplishing the goals and like the dreams that you had, like that hunger, you know what I'm saying, like that?
I mean, for me, I feel like it was more just I mean, I seen nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I kind of expect nothing less of myself. You know what I'm saying? In some kind of way. just based on growing up around people that pretty much have been doing shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen the cars, I've seen this, I've seen it, so I've seen shit.
Right. Like your father.
Yeah, so yeah, like he set the tone. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, like it just understanding that, like I seen no other way.
And that was my compliment to you for this generation. I want to give you your flowers right now. It's an honor to be doing this episode with you right now because I feel like you are him in our generation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he set the tone, he set the standard, but for somebody who we can see in our age bracket, that's big. So going to that, I wanted to ask you like, who were like 2 or 3 people that was most influential to your life, like as a mentor or something?
Not really too much people. At the same time, I think it was more just my history as far as like seeing stuff. Right. But it's kind of hard to even point out mentors too much because nobody really sat me down and like said, "Yo, Q, do this, and do this."
Right.
I've never had that.
Yeah, there wasn't no guide.
It was some guidance. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, like I understand like how I want to live. And I'm not like a dumb nigga or anything. Like I'm very responsible. So at the same time, like if I'm going about something, I'm gonna go about it a certain kind of way.
Follow through.
Yeah.
What made you go like the online route, the Forex route versus like the trade route or like actually out? Like what made you go into more online and step into that one?
Online has no kind of income cap. I can make as much as I want every single fucking day. You know what I'm saying? 6-figure days and that kind of shit happen. Many times. Any kind of other route or job can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things that like if you want to pretty much live this kind of way, cool. But at the same time, like I'm a person that pretty much want no kind of limitations based on like what I'm doing. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So what is one of the biggest myths about the trading industry, about the stock market that people go on about that you would set the record straight?
I mean, for one, you can't speak big with people with small minds, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like common sense, you know? Right. So at the same time, like I think it's more just some people thinking like that industry is like fake and that kind of stuff. But I mean, put it this way, it's one of those things that's pretty much it's complex and that kind of stuff. But that's why only so many people actually stick with it because they can't really handle the pressure that it actually comes with, the stress that it comes with, the long nights that it comes with. But at the same time, like if you can handle all those negatives, then you're gonna be able to get rewarded with the positives, of course, right? Which means that unlimited income and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like doing numbers that you could buy. Imagine buying like a brand new Ferrari like in like once a week type of shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let's imagine that. Right. Trading actually gives that possibility. It's now a possibility. Right. Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard, but at the same time, like it's an option.
Got 101 spots, call a trap Dalmatian. Switching up all the whips, GPS your location. When you start getting money, that's when they start hating. And a nigga next up, and it ain't for debating. Phone calls back to back, somebody else done got it.